my face, and you know I was growing a little mustache or whatever. My hair was looking all bummy, and a few of my friends, they were like, "Gee, man, you look really Mexican." And I'm like, you know, like since they're my friends, I laughed. I was like, all right, cool, yeah, I look Mexican. And then I eventually got a haircut, cut my hair, got some glasses, I shaved, and like after I did all that, I went home and I looked myself in the mirror. I was like, what am I supposed to look like? Like it told me, I was like, yeah, you look Mexican, but I was like, what am I supposed to look like? I am Mexican, like I'm not. Am I supposed to like look something else? So you know, like that's when I realized I was like, I've been kind of ashamed of like my culture, like who I am, you know what I mean, like Mexican. And like I used to be embarrassed because like my mom, she doesn't know how to speak English that well, like she speaks Spanish. And like I used to be embarrassed of that. And because like, you know, she couldn't like talk to my friends or whatever. And you know, I didn't write this down or anything, but like, you know, I used to be embarrassed of that. And then I realized, I was like, man, it's cool that I have a mom like that, because now now I'm like bilingual, you know, I'm fluent in English and Spanish, and it's because of her. It's because of my culture. So, you know, like my message to you guys is just don't be embarrassed of your culture. Like if you're brown or if you're black or if you're white or if you're green or you know anything, it doesn't matter. Embrace your culture. Don't try to be someone you're not. You know what I mean? Like if you're Mexican, don't try to be white. Or if you're black, don't try to be white. If you're white, don't try to be Indian or something, you know what I mean? Be who you are, because that's what makes you unique, you know what I mean? Don't be ashamed of that. You know, that's it. Thanks.
Alright, so last night it was Obama's State of the Union address. Who here knows what that is? Who here watched it? Bad. All of you are bad if you haven't watched it. You guys are going to be voting soon. You guys are voting soon. It's important you guys watch this. So the State of the Union address is basically Obama is basically highlighting what he's done so far and giving Congress his agenda. So while I was watching it, I made some notes, so I'm just going to go over it. So if you guys missed it, I can just give you guys what he talked about. So basically the first thing he talked about is, in comparison to every other country in the world, USA cut the most in pollution, created the most jobs, and has higher stocks for the first time in 4 years. And we have the best footing to remain as a world power for the 21st century. So good job, Obama, on that. And one of the topics he touched on, one of the first topics he talked about was immigration. And he said that a lot of Republicans and conservatives are not loosening immigration laws. And he's saying that him and his advisors calculate that if they loosen up immigration laws and allow more people to come to America, it could cut the deficit by $1 trillion, make America look more attractive, and speed up the entire growth of the nation. So I thought that was pretty important because our entire group is basically made up of a lot of minorities, so this affects us directly. After that, he talked about community colleges and work experience. So what he's basically trying to do is he's trying to implement people who are unemployed, he's trying to get them work experience. So for example, in the Ford car industry, Obama started a program where people who had no skills at all, he trained them so they could go to a factory and then work full wage, $10 an hour to $30 an hour, and that's from knowing nothing. Most of these people didn't have a college education, so that was something which I found good. He said that employment insurance needs to be restored because it just expired. So basically, if you're unemployed, there's an insurance that you got which would kind of help you on your feet while you didn't have a job. And so far that's expired. That expired in 2012, the end of 2012. So he said he's going to make an effort to renew that. After that, he said that the government is not dependent on, it says the citizens are not dependent on the government, but the government is dependent on people who build careers and have a steady future. So I wanted to ask you guys, do you guys agree with that? Do you guys think that the American government is dependent on people who focus on having a steady career? Do you guys agree with that statement? Yeah? So that's something which I thought was another really important thing. And then after that, he talked about something else which is important to us. He said that America is lagging behind in its education. He says that in America, right now, in comparison to other countries, we're not doing as good. So he's going to try his hardest to invest into education, connect schools to the best teachers and technology without adding any money to the deficit. So I think that's good, Good for you, Obama. That's good for us too. He's saying that the economy must honor hard work in order to make sure that the American dream isn't empty. The American dream is basically that if you're born in poverty, you can work hard to get back on your feet. So what he's saying is education is the best pathway for that. After he talked about that, he talked that women earn 77 cents for every dollar a man earns. And he said that when women succeed, America succeeds. So he was saying that he's going to try equalizing the workforce, because there's still a lot of inequality in the workforce. Which brought him to the next thing which he talked about. He talked about minimum wage. Right now, the minimum wage is not, like in California,